It's so weird walking into the garage and seeing the EVO and the STI. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to. Plus having the Golf R around, it's weird. It's like the all-wheel drive trifecta. All we need is a Focus RS, I think, and that completes like the all-wheel drive. I don't know where I'm going with that. The all-wheel driveness of it. So today I want to start going through the EVO. I've been running errands all morning and doing whatnot. So the EVO came with a ton of parts. You guys know that. I don't know exactly what I have. So I don't know what parts I need to order, and I also don't really know the condition of some of the parts in there. And like the fuel tank is one of my concerns. I can smell race gas inside of the car. I know it has some dual fuel pump setup in it. I don't know what. And I don't know what parts I'm going to keep and what parts I'm going to get rid of. So I need to go through today and organize all of the EVO parts and some of the STI parts that I have for that car, just to kind of see where we stand. So far, I have ordered some parts for the EVO. You guys know that I bought an OEM EVO 8 wing. It needs to be repainted and clear coated, but I'll have a paint shop do that. I don't have the equipment, the space, or the knowledge to be able to paint well enough for the quality that I'm trying to shoot for on this EVO. On top of that, I also ordered a lot of the brake stuff to rebuild the brakes. So I'm going to completely disassemble the Brimbos. I can powder coat those here in the garage, which I plan on doing. You guys gave some awesome color suggestions. The one that really stuck out to me the most was the brake caliper cover, or the brake caliper color on Ford Focus RS's. I found a pretty close color on prismatic powders called Octane Blue, and I think that's going to be the accent color that we're going to end up doing on this EVO 8 right here. When all that stuff comes in, we'll take the Brimbos out of the bags back there, get them disassembled, chemical strip them. I don't have a media blaster, so we're just going to do a chemical strip and sand on them, which will be more than sufficient for what we're going to be doing. But before we jump into the EVO, let me show you guys a couple things on the Flat 6 STI. I like to give you guys updates on this as I get them. So right now, I'm still waiting on sensors to come in and the dash pack for this car, so that way I can keep going on it. However, I did get our R35 GTR coil packs. I have 2 of them in the engine, which I'll show you. I'm still working on a solution for the crank sprocket to be able to extend those rear teeth back to the back of the reluctor wheel. I'm working with a machine shop right now to try to get some of these made up, so that way if other people want to do this swap, they can. I also got both of our knock sensors in and our crank position sensor. These are all OEM Subaru parts. So just to give you guys like a visual here, those are the R35 GTR coil packs. I need to build a bracket to keep them where they are, but they're like perfect length for what we're doing with this engine. But I'm just waiting on more sensors to come in. I have more sensors that I need to order for this thing. I really don't want to mess with wiring on this up until I know how to map out and where I'm mapping out all these wires. But quick update on that one. Now let's jump on this. So yesterday I did push the EVO out. I cleaned off all the bird poop, the dirt, the dust, all of the years of debris on this car, and it does look a lot better cleaned up. Like, it looks so much better. I need to get, like I said, do need to get an EVO 9 front bumper because I just like the EVO 9 one better. I'm gonna get an OEM hood too. I think this is carbon fiber that's been painted. I don't like the paint on there. It does not look OEM, and I'll show you guys. There's like a carbon fiber badge on the back of that hood, so I'm not entirely sure. But the big thing for me today, if I can come in here, pop the trunk guy. Yeah, it smells like race gas in there. Is sorting through all of that, figuring out what we have here. That's pretty straightforward. That's just our trans. And then taking a peek at our engine, because there are some things that I am not going to be using on this, like the ID2000s, that fuel rail that we have on there right there, and some other stuff. So let me start unloading all of this from the trunk and just piling it all in a pile up in the front of the garage. I'm going to push the EVO back a little bit more so that way we have a little more room. And then I also have stuff inside of the car that I need to take out as well. So let's see what we have to work with here. It's the little EVO that could. Right there, totally fine. Don't roll back, don't roll back. All right, so we have one 4G63. Check, we have an engine. Let's just kind of stop. Just stop, just chill right there. All right, we got a 4G63. What else we got? We got turbo stuff. I want to disassemble this real quick, like, though. I don't know what exhaust manifold this is or anything, so there's one bolt off. Because this exhaust manifold looks usable. Looks like we can use this exhaust manifold, 100%. I just don't know what it is. Why does one bolt just not want to come out? Who's the ding dong that did this? Quality looking exhaust manifold right there, which I'm pretty sure it goes on like this. All right, so I'm just gonna let that chill right there. That might be on upside down. I don't think it is though. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. This gnarly looking hood dump that I I don't want this. I do not want that. That is for sale. So we've got a hood dump right there. Dude, there's so many packing peanuts in this turbo. Are there any like identifying marks of what this is? What are you? I'm guessing an eBay turbo. This looks like an eBay turbo, like a cheap eBay turbo. It feels like a cheap eBay turbo. It's definitely journal bearing. Well, this will be fun. There's a lot of stuff on the ground right there, and I don't know what half of it is. Woo! So, let's just start from the pile. Now, here's the thing with project cars like this. Don't look at it like, holy hell, there's a lot of stuff right there. I have to do all of that. We're gonna do this one step at a time. One baby step at a time. Kind of like what we've been doing with that. So brakes, that'll be our first project. We'll get brakes on the car, we'll get them working, we'll have some functional brakes. Then we're gonna jump over to this. So I'm gonna disassemble this engine tomorrow to see what all is done with this. I was told it has a built head. I don't know if that's true or not, and the only way to find out is to take off the valve cover and figure it out. I will not have another karma incident where I go to install a motor multiple times just to find out that it has cams and nothing else in it. So, tomorrow's project is going to be tearing apart this 4G63, seeing what's all done to the head. I'm actually going to take the head off, send it to a machine shop, have it get resurfaced, and we're going to tear down that short block down there and rebuild it. I just, like, it's just too unknown for me to, like, risk running this thing. I was told it's an OEM short block with 60,000 miles on it. I would just rather be safe than sorry on this, especially since it's already out of the car, already on a stand, and already ready to be torn down. We'll replace all of the timing components if we don't have them, because I know I have a box of new timing stuff, or somewhat new timing stuff over there. I don't know, I need to verify all that. So, baby steps. I'm gonna take a lot of photos of this engine before I go to take it apart, so that way I know how to put it back together. So let's start going through everything we have down here. We have one radiator fan. I don't even know if that works with the radiator I have. A box full of random mounts of bolts. This turbo, I swear, is like an eBay turbo. I have no idea. It's got a Forge wastegate on it, but there's no markings at all on this thing. Like, anywhere on this turbo, there's nothing on the back side, there's nothing around the hot side, nothing around the cold side on this turbo, nothing on the flange. So I'm guessing it's an eBay turbo with a Forged diverter valve on it, or a wastegate on it. So that I'm just gonna sell. That dump tube, I really don't want a hood exit. I just don't care to have a hood exit on a car. It's obnoxious, it's loud. I'm gonna post that for sale. I have no idea what it's worth. I need to do a little research before posting some of the stuff up for sale, but that's not, yeah, we're not doing that. Some random couplers throughout the car that I found, a ton of charge piping, and all of it is like mismatched colors. Like, I have some of it that's like this brushed steel aluminum color. I've got some that's powder coated black. The ETS core up there, I'm gonna sell that entire intercooler core setup, piping, the blow off valve, all of that. I don't know how many miles are on that. I want to make this, I want to do this right with this car. 100%, no cutting corners like I've always done. It's going to take more time than it would be if I was just like, all right, let's just throw it all in the car and go drive it. I want to build this to be the street Evo I've always wanted, so I'm not going to rush anything with this build. It did come with an alternator. I was told it was new, but it looks used because there's grease all over it. We do have a power steering pump. I'm probably going to replace that anyways. Like, I don't know how many miles are on that. I don't even know if that thing works. We do have two axles down there. That one is torn, so I'm gonna have to rebuild both of these axles. We have two, what I think are like timing covers or just like pulley covers. Probably clean those up, try to reuse them if I can. We did get an extra intake manifold down there. We have one reservoir there. I'm assuming one is coolant, one is power steering, because I also have this one, which appears to be a power steering line, and that appears to be a power steering cooler that goes in the front of the car, because I know Evos do have that like run through the grill or something like that. We have the Mishimoto half radiator down there that I showed you guys, and then this is what I was talking about on the brake. So somebody like ground down the edge of the Brembo right there. I wish I knew why. I don't know why, so I'm gonna be sanding, chemical stripping, and redoing these. Those lines right there, I will like powder coat black separately just to make them look better. So these hard lines that are the crossover will be black, and then all of this will just, oh, those are just stickers on this one. And then all of these will be that octane blue color. The red's cool, but I'm not putting faded ass calipers on this car if I can avoid it. Aside from that, it's all random other stuff, electrical stuff, a box of mounts. They all seem to be OEM. So we have some stuff that we can reuse, but to be honest, I think a lot of this I'm gonna trash, sell, and just buy new. I did get the headlights on the car. I would like to get a set with the amber reflector down there. I think it looks a little bit better in my opinion, so I might sell those headlights too. This hood, I'm about to pull this off to see what exactly this is, because that's not OEM. Now that I've got everything out from inside of the car, I can show you guys this. So we do have a fuel pump in here. I can't really read the brand name on that. I do want to pull that out. There's no bolts holding that thing in. So I know Radium makes some awesome fuel pumps for this car. So I think I'm going to get a Radium hanger, just a full Radium system in this car, Radium fuel rails, everything like that. The trunk does have a battery box in here. I thought this was just set in here. No, it's screwed in. So, hey, oh, is that a 10 mil? 6. It's a 6 mil. No one uses 6 mils. I'm actually gonna pull this thing out real quick. Let me get that thing out of there. Get that out of there. Look at that. We have a full trunk again. God damn. What's with this sticker? Why do people put stickers absolutely everywhere? I'm sorry. I am like an anti-sticker person. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm gonna take these stickers out. It takes an evil type of person. Put stickers everywhere. So it's some people's cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. Let me say that, all right? I think I'm gonna take this EDFC setup off the car too, the controller and all that stuff, to minimize how many wires are just kind of dangling and hanging out. Oh my God, I'm gonna vacuum back here too. This is bad. This is bad. Well, there's a Tomei sticker on here. You don't even have a Tomei on the car. My dude. Bloop. So stickers are off in the back. I don't know, it just bothers me. The small stuff like that bothers me. And then I went through, I vacuumed out the entire trunk. I cleaned it with degreaser. I think I'm gonna sand it and repaint it because there's a little bit of surface rust inside of the trunk. It's nothing major, it's something that we can just clean up some sandpaper and repaint the trunk, but it looks 1,000 times better. Luckily with the car being black, I can just repaint the trunk black and you probably never know. The next thing that I want to do, look at how like nice it looks in here now. No more like weird stickers on the shock towers. So next thing I want to do is right up there on that coilover, there's EDFC control. There's an EDFC control in this car and it controls it's like electronic dampening control from the driver's. I don't really know how to describe it. You push a button on this controller right here and it changes the dampening settings in the car. So I'm actually going to go through, remove all of these dampeners or adjustable dampeners, get this like whole module set up out of here because that is like so much excessive wiring that I just don't want in here anymore. So let's get all of the mystery wires out. Look at that, it stays true. Every car that we get, mystery wires all the time. So let me run through and start pulling these out. Actually, I want to pull that hood off first. I want to check out the hood to see like if this is carbon fiber or OEM. I'm not sure. So give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna clear some room out on the back rack behind the Blueberry back there, just to clean up a lot of this so that way I can have walking room again. That took forever. So I had to clear off space on the back rack, cleaned out a lot of old parts. I have parts posted for sale on like Facebook. I'll probably post them on Instagram later, both EVO and STI parts, just to clear out more space in the garage to give us a little bit more room. But I found something else. So the hood is actually an NRG carbon fiber hood that's been painted. I want an OEM hood. I really don't care for carbon fiber hoods. It's not my cup of tea. I really just 2 cents, don't care about them. Have the intercooler posted for sale, the injectors, the fuel rail, a whole bunch of stuff that I just don't plan on using with this car. But let me... Where do I want to start? I kind of want to drill out the carbon fiber panels that are on the bumper just to make the car temporarily look better until I get a new bumper. It's just cleaning up like other people's messes. That's what happens when you buy project cars. So I think I'm gonna drill out these carbon fiber panels first, just so that way when I look at this thing, I feel a little bit better about myself. It just looks stupid with those. Also, let me start off by saying, I know these are for drag racing. They're drag panels. I just think they look dumb. No, I don't want them. They look dumb and I don't want them. That's the bare basic thing here. I don't want them. I need to get all these rivets off of here. That already looks better. Oh, let's pull it out. Well, the bumper already looks better, with the exception of the holes that are in it. Dude, that already looks 1,000 times better, not having those panels on there. So now that I got those off, that was just a quick thing. I want to get this EDFC unit out of the car. I want to try to de-wire this, get this entire system out of here. So it looks like that these covers just pop off, and then there's just a small, what I'm guessing is a screw. I don't really know how to take these off. So I'm gonna have to play with these a little bit and figure out how to get them off. I think I might start with the wiring inside of the car and work my way, actually no, I think I'm gonna work my way outside of the car and get all like this wiring off of there. I'm just gonna cut it and throw it away, and ain't no one gonna buy this stuff or reuse it. So let's start getting wiring out of this thing. Less wires, the better. To be honest, I don't really care to even get the modules out. I'm just gonna do some chop chop action here. Chop chop right there. We've got one EDFC wire controller guy going down through the firewall right there, so that's garbage. This guy can come out. I'm gonna chop chop that guy right there. Chop chop, chop chop. More wires out. Mystery wires, they're always my favorite. Chop chop. Who buys TN? Do people still buy TN coilovers? I'm gonna do a chop chop right there. Chop chop, chop chop. It's our first adventure into the EVO. So was someone eating a steak in here at some point? Looks like a steak knife. So I know all of this is TN wiring. What the hell is that? Zetronics? I feel like I should leave that in here for now because I don't know what that one is. But all this EDFC crap, we're just gonna do a nice chop. Chop. Chop the modules out. That was easy. Now that the module's out, let's start figuring out where all of these go. What in the hell? We're gonna do another chop chop here. Chop, 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 chop. All of that's out. I feel like this is probably the best time to do this while like we don't have seats in here or anything. What does that go to? That looks like, I don't even know. Like, what is happening here? Why is there a wiring harness chilling here? What does this plug into? I'm gonna have to take the dash out in this thing, aren't I? Probably. That's all right. Alright, mystery wires. Zerotron ethanol gauge. Oh, the Zerotronics for ethanol. There's a lot of change in here. This whole like shifter assembly feels loose. This shifter feels like butthole. God, dude, what have I gotten myself into? God, dude, I don't want to sound like a D-bag, but the way that people build cars and like do it the cheap way with all this shit just bothers me. I don't know why, but it does. Because then, well, actually, I do know why it bothers me, because then I come through here and I try to fix it all. Okay, so our center console's out. That thing came out with one fucking screw. That's cool. Okay, it looks like it goes to like an ECU plug. I swear to God, if there's not an ECU in this car, I'm gonna be so pissed. Where does all of this go? What is this yellow wire for? What is happening in here? What happened to this poor thing? Please screw now. Looks like it. Oh, two more mystery wires out. Dope. Dora, do 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 Dora, do 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 Dora, do 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 Dora. I legit feel like Dora the Explorer right now because I feel like I'm going into the unknown back here. Ah, get out! All of the EDFC stuff is out. Next up, here's what I'm worried about. This fuel pump right here. So, why would you ground it right there? What is going on here, man? This fuel pump's like it's not even like installed. Ow, there's braided fuel line right here. That looks like a damn third grader made it. This is literally the worst fuel line I have ever seen. Who made this? I could make better fuel line in my goddamn sleep. Alright, we're just gonna tuck that down there for now because I don't want to cut my hand on that thing again because it's like hella fraying. There's no bolts holding the fuel pump even down. There's random ass wires scattered literally fucking everywhere. Like, holy goddamn shit. So I don't know if that's corrosion, rust, or like a certain kind of fuel. It doesn't smell like E85 and it doesn't smell like gasoline. It kind of smells like race gas, which is a very possible thing. I'm gonna try to get that out of there real quick and wipe down that little fuel basket. It looks clean and I don't see any rust on that. What I do think I'm gonna do with this is run some of the Techron high mileage fuel system cleaner through this car once it's running. So you guys know that we work with Techron on the channel and whatnot, and Techron sent over some of their high mileage fuel system cleaner. Now what this does, it's designed for vehicles with over 75,000 miles on it. With that being the original fuel tank in the car, that fuel system cleaner, it's gonna help inhibit and break up any of the corrosion that we actually have in the fuel system. After seeing what we actually have in there, this should help tremendously. I'll probably run these through at their recommended dosage, which is use every 3,000 miles, just to like really clean that stuff out. It's going to save us a little bit of money if I can save that fuel tank and not have to buy another one. These literally use these like any other fuel system cleaner. You go ahead, you wait till you're low on gas, you pour this in while you're at the fuel station, fill it up to full, and then this will mix in with the fuel, and then it just does all the corrosion inhibiting stuff that we can ever imagine. You guys know I ran that stuff in the 05 STI whenever we'd swap between E85 and pump gas. So in this car, it's gonna be no exception. We're also gonna be running that high mileage, well this time it's gonna be high mileage Techron fuel system cleaner, just because the car has about 90,000 miles on it. It's designed for cars with over 75,000. If you're still running like stock injectors, stock fuel rail, stock fuel lines, all that stuff, it'll definitely help with that as well, even if you have metal fuel lines that go all the way up to the front of the car. But that fuel tank looks nasty, and that'll definitely help. It'll give me a little bit of peace of mind as well as like help clean things out a bit. So that's got to happen. So I was able to get all that random mystery wires out. There's more up there. Let me throw them all in one pile. Mystery wires, get out of here. Mystery wires, do, get over here. I still have more to pull out because there's that ethanol thing in there. So you go right there. Mystery wires. I need to pull out that other one real quick. Let me grab that one. So I got the last of the mystery wires out of the car. It's getting cold outside and I am like wet from cleaning out the driveway because I had a little bit of a spill. So I got all that cleaned up, but I'm like soaking wet and I'm freezing now. I got the last of the mystery wires out. Those mystery wires just went to an ethanol sensor. I'm gonna leave the sensor in the car for now until I pull out the rest of the fuel system. In the next video, we're gonna be going through the engine bay, ripping out a ton of stuff that we are just not going to be reusing. Old boost controllers, old fuel stuff, ethanol sensors, fuel lines, everything like that's gonna come out. I'm gonna have to run a brand new fuel feed from the fuel pump up to the engine bay. I pulled this one out. I don't know what brand it is. I'm not gonna use it. I don't know how old it is. I don't know what fuel's been ran through this car. It looks pretty grimy and gross. There's no corrosion on it, but better safe than sorry with this thing. So honestly, it's not, it's a project car, let me say that. It is on the scale of like 1 to how bad is it? I'd probably put it like a 6 because I am essentially rebuilding this car from the ground up at this point. I'm talking new suspension, new driveline components. We're rebuilding the engine, new fuel system, literally everything with this car. So on the scale of 1 to bad, I'm putting it at a 6. And new interior because we don't have that either. So right, I knew what I was getting myself into when I got the car. I've always wanted an EVO. I'd rather do it this way because you guys know me. I'm gonna even if we got one that was like fully running and driving right now, you guys know I'd tear it apart anyways and do it how I want to do it regardless. So it works out in our favor. It's just a little what is the word, a little daunting right now, but that's all I got for you guys on this one. So like I said, in the next video, we're gonna go through the engine bay, start tearing stuff out in there. We're gonna get the head off of the 4G63 because I wanna verify what's inside of it. Like I said before, I'm not making the same mistakes I made with the 05 STI and assuming what the seller told me is true, because that is never the case. Well, like 9 times out of 10 it's not the case. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, color of the day, because we haven't done that in a while. It's actually black for the EVO. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be because you don't want to miss the flat 6 STI stuff, the EVO 8 rebuild, or the Golf R parts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll put it in one of these corners, no idea which one quite yet, but with that I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.